if it was up to me, like we people said, we want to see Benavidez. That was a hell of a fight. But my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez.
Makes him so good in your opinion, Mike? Why does he beat everybody in your opinion?
His attitude. You know, he was a little heavy, fat kid and stuff like that, and he wanted to prove himself to the world.
Now, I don't think Morrell's going to be able to match Benavidez' volume. You know what I'm saying? With that, you know, he's punching constantly on top of you, and he'll get tired.
Fighters have explained how terrifyingly skilled David Benavidez is, praising his relentless pressure power and ability to break opponents down.
Benavidez is going to win the fight because I think Benavidez is the truth. I think his skill set is underrated. It's rare that a dude that applies that kind of pressure at that size has that level of hand speed.
To the sport, I'm the number 2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think I don't have defense.
The Atlas emphasizes Benavidez's relentless pressure, comparing him to a buzzsaw that never stops moving forward. Atlas highlights how Benavidez doesn't just throw punches wildly, he's calculated, setting up traps and mixing his attack. The mention of body shots is key because they wear opponents down over time, making it harder for them to survive. In short, Atlas would frame Benavidez as a fighter who suffocates opponents with both volume and intelligence, making it almost impossible to escape once you're in his grasp.
I think the purer puncher probably is Morrell for one shot. He's a less experienced guy, but he's got that Cuban background, you know, with the amateur pedigree, over 100-something fights. He's got experience. Even though he's got a lot less fights, he's got experience. He hasn't fought the resume professionally that Benavidez had, so that's in favor of Benavidez. The experience, always important. But also the pedigree, like I said, where he comes from, Cuba. How, you know, you come from that island that from the beginning when you first put those gloves on, it's all about becoming a world champ. You know, part of it is to escape the communist country, to get to a better life, to get to where you can pursue dreams, to get over here where you can become a world champion. And that is all there. But Benavidez comes from those bloodlines too, where it's all about with him and his father, you know, and his family. It's all about being a champion, staying a champion, being proud, representing yourself in and out of the ring as a champion. The power. Both guys are...
The fighter emphasizes his precision in the ring, highlighting his ability to land clean, effective punches. "I'm the accurate puncher in boxing," says David Benavidez. Ben's confidence stems from years of honing his skills, ensuring he remains a dominant force in the sport with unmatched accuracy.
I don't want to talk about this sparring partner. What we are talking about is that this Saturday, I'm going to put a beating on David Morrell.
David, when you imagine the fight, that beating, how does it look? How have you mentally pictured the fight?
I see myself systematically breaking him down. I think I'm just going to overwhelm him with punches. My punches and bunches is unlike anybody else in the sport. I'm the number 2 most accurate puncher in the sport. I don't really get hit that much. You know what I mean? I don't know why people think I don't have defense on that. So what I've noticed from my previous fights, when I fight great fighters, when I get in there and they don't have success like they have with other fighters, they get a certain look in their eye, like, oh shit, this guy's really good. And I'm expecting the same thing here. But if I do get put in a position where it's a good competitive fight, I'm ready to go to war. This is what I'm here for. You know, nothing is guaranteed. There's no easy fights here. Nothing is guaranteed. But I'm ready to put my heart and soul in the ring, and I'm ready to put it all in the ring and beat David Morrell, whatever it may take.
Morrell, it comes from the Cuban school. A lot of people say, like, hey, man, this guy is so technically good. This is a difficult style matchup. Like, what do you make of his Cuban style coming into this fight?
But honestly, they've said that against everybody I fight, that they're technically better than me, that they're more decorated amateur.
David Benavidez says the beef between him and David Morrell is not just drama, but something real. "I want to beat him up for sure." Benavidez states it's all because of his trash talk. He's been running his mouth, and I'm not going to let that slide. I'm ready to back up everything I've said and prove I'm the better fighter in the ring.
People look at you two in the lead up to this fight, promoting the fight or what have you. A lot of pomp and circumstance usually comes associated with fights where guys look like they might dislike each other, but ultimately in the end, it's just about the professionalism and it's about marketing the fight. You guys seem to have a disdain for one another. How real is that? And if so, why?
Yeah, this is 100% real. And like I said, I want to go in there and break his face. That's exactly what I intend on doing. David Morrell, he's been calling me out for the past 2 years. He's been talking a lot of trash. So honestly, it doesn't take much for me to get me started. Him saying he's going to knock me out, this and that. I'm in a, I want a good fight. I want him to be ready. I want him to back all his words up. So at the end of the day, I got to be the Mexican monster. I just got to let these people know exactly who I am.
Boxing analysts and former fighters overwhelmingly favor David Benavidez in a potential fight against David Morrell. They believe Ben's skill, set relentless pressure, and high-volume punching would overwhelm Morrell, who has yet to face elite competition experts, highlight Ben8's ability to break opponents down with his size, power, and stamina, making him a tough challenge for anyone. While Morrell is a talented fighter with strong fundamentals, many see Benavidez as the superior boxer due to his experience and ability to dictate the pace of a fight. As a result, predictions lean heavily in Ben's favor for a dominant victory.
David Morrell is going to put up one hell of a fight. I just think David Benavidez is not what people think he is. I see a highly skilled fighter with good fluidity in his punches and his moves. The guy, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm talking about skill. Like, he got fast hands. He throws great flurries. He knows how to break you down systematically. His defense is far better than people give him credit. Him against Oleksandr Volkan, I was like, brother, this guy looks great, right? He just needs more time at 175, which I think
Benavidez, American, from Arizona, from Phoenix, Arizona, debut 2013 through 2021. I think he is still fighting. His last fight most likely occurred in 2021. Oh wait, November 13th, he's got an upcoming fight versus Jose Uzcatagu, Colombian. But his last one was a TKO, took place March 13, 2021. 24, and we got another undefeated.
Morrell and David Benavidez. Is that a fight that you're...
Oh, got it. Yeah. So the story with he and I was, I met him when he was a kid. And he told me, I'm going to be a world champion someday. And then I run into him and he's a world champion. That's happened to me so many times, usually with MMA fighting, not boxing. That's when I was sort of kicking the tires in boxing. Yes, I will watch that fight. That's what.
They believe that the ability of Benavidez to physically impose himself on his opponent, especially a fighter of the same size, but with better boxing ability, gives him a significant edge. His relentless pressure, high punch output, and durability make him difficult to handle in the ring. Ben8's aggressive style forces opponents to fight at his pace, often wearing them down over the rounds. While some fighters may have better technical skills, his ability to overpower and outwork them gives him an advantage. This makes him a dangerous matchup for any fighter, regardless of their boxing talent or defensive skills.
Yes, quote, I don't want to fight someone who doesn't mean something for my career. And the best out there now is David Morrell.
I see him coming up to 175. He's talking about it. I'm going to shut his ass up. And also, it would be a bigger pay-per-view if we wait later. His name is not that big, but
they just talk the way you want your fighters to talk. They're all about the smoke. They want to fight everybody. It seems like whoever would win the Morrell-Benavidez fight gets the shot. But at the end of the day, we got a guy who wants to fight a tough guy.
David Morrell is so good. David Morrell is a high-risk, low-reward fighter. You have to overpay people to step in. If you don't overpay them, you won't get them in the ring. It's as simple as that, Jack. So, David Morrell going into 2024, one of the most exciting fighters, got an exciting style. Has a fan base in Minnesota. That's the knock on the Cubans. No international distribution on the Cuban feed because they don't show the fights. Have a fan base in Minnesota. Now we need to see the fights. Vladimir Shishkin, Christian and Billy. Any of those guys on the back end of the top 10. I want to see them in 10.
Also match Bennett's with Tyson Fury as he possesses a lot of talent and boxing ability that set him apart from other fighters of the same size. Both fighters use their physical advantages, effectively combining skill, endurance, and pressure to dominate opponents. Ben's relentless aggression and fast hands allow him to break down opponents, much like Fury's ability to control fights with movement and technique. While their styles differ, analysts see similarities in their dominance over similarly sized opponents. This comparison further strengthens the belief that Benavidez is a special talent capable of overpowering elite fighters in his division.
Yeah, listen, I'll give massive props to Benavidez because I've rated Morrell very highly for a long time. In Los Angeles, I got to watch him up close, and I really wasn't impressed with what I saw, but I just think he had an off night. He's a very good fighter. And Benavidez really doesn't need to be taking that fight, but he is. So listen, big respect to David Benavidez. That's a great fight, and we want to see great fights. I hope there's more fighters like David Benavidez that said, no, I'll back myself. I don't give a fuck about Morrell. I know everyone rates him and he's this Cuban killer. I'll beat him. Get me in with him. Fair play. Well done, David Benavidez.
Great fight as well. Really, really good fight. It's great to see. Yes, isn't it? I mean, boxing's flat at the minute, but I really, really rate Benavidez. Hard to look past him. Not one for me.
I know I say that every fight, but it's just I'm getting better and better, more experience. You know, now I'm physically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm at one with myself, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. These are the type of challenges I want. I don't shy away from no fight or no fighter. You know what I mean? And that's definitely what I'm going to show February 1st.
You think like you break them down like later in the rounds? Like do you catch them early and break them down early like we saw with Andrade?
To be honest with you, I'm gonna just put a game plan together and I'm gonna just follow my game plan. I don't know if it's gonna come early. I don't know if it's gonna come late, but I will be trying to knock them out. You know, that's what I do every single fight. I go in there and I just break people down and I beat the shit out of them. It's going to be the same thing.
Given the last performance, I know you said at the post fight you were injured and you're dealing with a lot of things. What do you make of like the perception of David at 175 from fans now? And do you think it's fair?
Honestly, I don't care what nobody says. I know exactly what I do. I know that 7 weeks left to the fight. I tore the tendon. 8 weeks left to the fight. Tore the tendon. I got closer to 4 weeks only using one.
Benavidez, an undefeated powerhouse with a 29-0 record and 24 knockouts, enters every fight with unshakable determination, including his upcoming clash with Morrell. While Morrell has been vocal, Benavidez remains silent, letting his skills do the talking. He absorbs every word, but saves his response for the ring, where his relentless pressure, speed, and precision take over. Known for breaking opponents down, he sees trash talk as nothing more than added fuel, something that only intensifies the battle. For Benavidez, fights aren't won with words, they're won with skill, power, and the ability to dominate when it matters most. Bull praises Benavidez, saying his skills are top tier. He knows firsthand, as they've shared the ring and sparring. Benavidez has speed, power, and smart pressure, always thinking, always adjusting. Ball respects his ability to break opponents down, calling him a real problem for anyone who steps in with him.
Spar, it's very different than fight. I have a lot of sparrings when I wasn't good, when I was good. I'm not seeing on the sparring like on the fight. I'm checking, I'm just trying to do something, you know. I just have some mission for one sparring and I try to do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But with Benavidez it was good sparrings. I can't say that something was not good. Now it's Canelo. He has belts. Of course he's the best in 168. They need to prove it. They need to earn belts. Then we will see. We have rules. You have belts, you are best.
Those believe Benavidez will win because he's the truth, an unstoppable force with the skills, toughness, and mentality to break opponents down. He applies relentless pressure, cuts off the ring, and forces fighters into deep waters, where they drown under his volume. His hand speed, accuracy, and ability to mix up attacks make him dangerous. He doesn't just throw punches, he sets traps, punishes the body, and controls the pace. He's built for war. And when the fight gets tough, he thrives. Pros believe Benavidez has to take this fight. But it's Morrell who truly needs it. Benavidez is already proven a dominant force. While Morrell seeks validation, this fight is his chance to prove he belongs at the top. For Benavidez, it's another step. For Morrell, it's everything.
Atmosphere like this level right now, he's getting nervous right now. He's nervous. He wanted this fight. Now he's talking a lot of shit. He's mad. You know, what the fuck? You know, he should be happy. So we're super motivated. You know, David's super focused. And these are the type of fights that we need. At the end of the day, you know, he has everything to gain.
we have nothing to gain out of this fight. You know, we have everything to lose, nothing to gain. You know, but at the end of the day, it's a great fight for the people. People wanted to see this fight, and we're ready. We're ready to put them to sleep. Arms are short from my height, so I gotta find ways to get. You know what I'm saying? I bring this in, so it's here. I bring that in for maximum power, but also so I'm in a good range. I can't be out here because I got shorter arms. I'm here. Somebody like you gonna count you. This. You can be a really good fighter. Both of you. You can be all-time great. You make this great. That's the hand. Because that will open up these other hands. It's going to make it easy. Anything you do here, that blinds you. You're blind. Bing. Yeah, bing. Off to the side. You got to turn your head. I get off, so I can exit. It's just rinse and repeat. That's it right there. That's it right there. He did for it. Yeah, he did.
Showbiz as the adult analyzes David Benz's mentality and says he fights not for money, but for the challenge. I want to test myself against the toughest fighters. He stakes his motivation lies in proving his skills and pushing his limits for Benavidez. It's about proving he's the best, not just securing a payday.
There's a huge demand for this fight, David Morrell and David Benavidez. For me, though, I never had a huge demand because I think it's a bit early. And when you look at his last fight, Riyadh season, David Morrell didn't look that good. But a lot of people don't think David Benavidez is that good. I thought he looked great. I just thought he gassed, but I thought he looked phenomenal. This fight, though, reminds me a bit of how they moved along Vargas. Remember when Vargas fought Trinidad? People wanted that fight until they saw him. He was a little too young. And he was showing a lot of promise, but I think they moved him along too quick. Don't be surprised if David Benavidez gives him boxing. David Benavidez, I think he's going to show some movement, shoot the jab, be busy. I think Morrell has a puncher's chance. And I think it's a phenomenal puncher's chance because he's so athletically gifted.
Benavidez and David Morrell, right? This is the type of fights boxing needs. Two young fighters, great fighters in their division. They moved up to 175. They were at 168. The fight wasn't made there, but 175. David said, "You know what? Let's make this fight happen." The first few pictures, it looks like David has some weight to take off. He looks like the Tyson Fury of the 175, but that doesn't matter, right? It's all about your fighting technique, your fighting style. I think David Morrell has a great opportunity to showcase his skills, but I don't think it'll be enough to beat a David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez has a little bit too much power and too much combinations for David Morrell. David Morrell hasn't, fought anybody that is maybe top 2, top 3. David Benavidez has been in there with Caleb Plant, has been in there with some good fighters. So he is coming into the fight the favorite. But let me know what you guys think of that fight. All right, let me know what you guys.
David Bennett is expected to dominate David Morrell, especially when analyzing Morrell's past fights against lower-level opponents. While Morrell has shown impressive footwork and technical skills, he has yet to face a fighter of Benavidez's caliber. Benavidez's relentless pressure, high-volume punching, and ability to break down opponents make him the clear favorite. Morrell's movement and defensive skills may create interesting exchanges, but Benavidez's aggressive style and superior experience should overwhelm him. The combination of Morrell's footwork and Benavidez's pressure will make for an exciting fight, but many believe Benavidez will ultimately overpower and stop Morrell convincingly.
You said that Morrell's management is going to earn more money off this fight than Morrell himself, and you want to know how he's about that. So, David, for David Morrell, what is your response to this? Is this true?
All your managers are bullshit. More money. I thought the managers were with you. I thought the people were with you. How you fucking managers making more money? I ain't making more money.
Morrell, is that true?
While pros believe Benavidez's skills will lead to a knockout victory over Morrell, others argue that Morrell is not an easy opponent and shouldn't be underestimated. Some analysts highlight Morrell's footwork, speed, and technical ability as key factors that could make the fight competitive. Ronnie believes this is the matchup fans have been craving for years and insists that Morrell is fully prepared. He emphasizes that Morrell's training camp has been exceptional, sharpening his skills for this challenge. According to Ronnie, Morrell is ready to prove himself and secure a victory, making this an intense and unpredictable.
But this thing, and look,
he has to worry about power that Morrell has also. He's going to feel the power when he's close. He's going to feel the power when Morrell has distance. So we feel we have the advantage both ways.
What's the feeling in your gut how this fight's going to play out, how it's going to go down?
I really truly believe Morrell's going to